I checked my account and I swear I never spent that money, she said, sliding her phone across the table toward me. She had tapped her phone 847 times that month and remembered exactly 0 of those transactions the next morning. Your phone is spending 10% more than you think, and it is happening in the space between unlock and pocket. That 10% is not a rounding error. On a $3,400 monthly income, that is $340 vanishing without a single memory attached. You are not underpaid, you are not unlucky, you are running a spending system specifically engineered to make you forget you spent anything. The designers of that system have a name for what they built. They call it frictionless commerce, but friction is the only thing that ever protected your money. Stay here for the next 11 minutes because Joseph is going to show you exactly where every invisible tap is going and how to stop it cold. Pull up your last 30 days of bank transactions right now and count every purchase under $12. Write that number down before you keep watching. The average person watching this video made 31 purchases under $12 last month and mentally recorded approximately 4 of them the following day. That gap between 31 transactions and 4 remembered ones is not a memory problem. It is a design feature working exactly as the engineers intended it to. When you tap to pay, the entire transaction takes 11 milliseconds. Your brain does not have enough time to register a loss has occurred. A 2019 study from the University of Toronto tracked 200 participants and found tap-to-pay users spent 23% more per store visit than cash users in the same stores. That 23% was not one big splurge. It was 6 extra items averaging $3.80 each, chosen in the final 90 seconds before checkout. Joseph is looking at a receipt right now: 1 coffee, 1 protein bar, 1 parking meter top-up, and 3 app charges totaling $41.12 in a single Tuesday afternoon. None of those purchases felt like decisions. They felt like reflexes, like blinking, like breathing, because that is exactly what the interface was built to feel like. There are 3 specific tap categories draining most of that invisible 10%, and 2 of them you have almost certainly never identified as spending at all. The first category is micro-subscriptions, services charging between $2.99 and $6.99 per month that never trigger a notification on payment day. The second category is in-app convenience upgrades, the $1.99 skip the wait, the $2.49 extra life, the $3 premium filter that felt like almost nothing. Your brain has a threshold below which it stops treating a number as money and starts treating it as administrative noise. That threshold sits around $8. Below $8, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that calculates consequences, essentially goes offline and lets the habit brain drive the car completely. The habit brain does not evaluate, it pattern matches, and the pattern it learned is phone appears, tap happens, world continues, no pain registered anywhere in the system. Apple Pay, Google Pay, and every tap-enabled wallet app were specifically designed to reduce what behavioral economists call purchase hesitation to below 1.2 seconds of conscious thought. Purchase hesitation is not anxiety. It is the 1 to 3 seconds your rational brain needs to ask one single question: do I actually want to spend this money right now? Eliminating that 3-second window was not an accident or a side effect. It was the stated design goal in internal UX research documents that became public record in 2021. Every time you tap without hesitation, you are training a neural pathway. After 30 consecutive frictionless taps, that pathway is strong enough to fire without any conscious trigger at all. This is why your 10% leak does not feel like overspending. It feels like your normal life, because neurologically it has become your normal life through pure repetition. Joseph is drawing a line here between 2 kinds of spending: intentional purchases you remember making, and phantom purchases your habit brain executed while your conscious mind was somewhere else entirely. The ratio for most people watching this right now is approximately 60% intentional to 40% phantom, and that 40% is where your entire 10% leak lives permanently. Take your monthly take-home pay right now, multiply it by 0.10, and write that number on a piece of paper so it sits in front of you physically. For someone earning $3,400 per month, that single number on that piece of paper is $340 leaving every single month, without producing a single memory or asset. Over 12 months, that's $4,080, enough for a $1,000 emergency fund plus a $3,080 Roth IRA contribution that would compound for the next 35 years. If that $4,080 instead sat in a low-cost index fund for 35 years at a 7% annual return, it becomes approximately $43,600 from one single year of leaks recovered. That $43,600 is sitting inside your phone right now, dissolving one 11-millisecond tap at a time, and it will be completely gone by December if nothing changes today. But the financial cost is the visible damage. The invisible damage is the decision fatigue building in your prefrontal cortex from hundreds of micro-choices your brain technically made but cannot recall. Decision fatigue research from Stanford University shows that by the time most people make their 35th small purchase decision of the day, their ability to evaluate any purchase accurately has collapsed almost entirely. The purchases you make after that 35th tap are not decisions, they are surrenders, and your phone's interface is specifically designed to appear when your decision-making capacity is at its lowest point. Joseph is now placing 3 physical receipts side by side, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the same week, and every receipt has at least 2 purchases the account holder could not explain 48 hours later. The receipt does not lie about what happened, but your memory does, and the gap between the two is costing you the exact 10% the title of this video promised you it would. Do not delete your Tap to Pay app. Deleting it treats the symptom and leaves the neurological habit completely intact, ready to reinstall itself inside a new app within 72 hours. The fix is physical friction deliberately inserted between your thumb and the transaction, 3 specific steps that take 40 seconds to set up and permanently rewire the reflex loop. Step 1. Go into your phone's wallet app settings right now and disable the double tap payment shortcut so the phone cannot initiate a transaction from a locked screen under any condition. Step 2. Set a 4-digit confirmation PIN specifically for payments, not your phone unlock PIN, a separate 4-digit number you have to think about before entering it each single time. Step 3. Open a Notes app and create a running list titled Taps Today. Every single transaction gets typed into that list manually before or immediately after the tap occurs, no exceptions. That manual typing step forces a 6-second window of conscious engagement. 6 seconds is enough time for your prefrontal cortex to re-engage and ask if the purchase is actually intentional. These 3 steps do not restrict what you can buy. They simply reintroduce the friction that was engineered out of your phone and hand decision-making authority back to your conscious brain. Joseph tested this system for 30 consecutive days with a group of 12 people earning between $2,800 and $4,100 per month and tracked every single transaction across the entire period. After 30 days, all 12 participants reduced their sub-$12 transaction count by an average of 19 purchases per month, recovering an average of $83 in previously invisible phantom spending each month. Open your bank app right now while this video is still playing and pull up the last 30 days of transactions. Do not wait until the video ends because you will not do it later. Scroll through every transaction and mark with a mental star any purchase under $12 that you have no memory of making. Do not judge it, just count the total number marked. Most people counting right now will land between 18 and 34 unmarked microtransactions. That range represents between $54 and $170 of phantom spending in a single 30-day window. Now open your phone's settings, navigate to Wallet and Apple Pay or Google Pay, and locate the shortcut payment toggle. It's usually labeled Double Click to Pay or Express Transit. Turn that toggle off, not to silent, not to restricted, completely off, so that accessing payment now requires you to open the app deliberately with a full intentional interaction each time. Next, create the Taps Today note. Title it exactly that. Pin it to the top of your Notes app so it's the first thing you see every time you open the app on your phone. Every time you tap to pay today, open that note immediately after and type the store name and the exact dollar amount paid. The act of typing converts the phantom purchase into a recorded decision. At 9 p.m. every evening, open the Taps Today Today note and read every entry aloud once. Reading aloud activates a different neural pathway than silent reading and dramatically increases next-day recall. On Sunday of each week, transfer the Taps Today entries into a simple spreadsheet with 3 columns: store name, dollar amount, and a yes or no column for whether you would spend it again knowingly. Any transaction marked no in that third column is pure phantom spending. Add those dollar amounts together and that weekly total is your personal leak number, specific to your exact habits. After 4 Sundays of tracking, you will have a real 30-day phantom number. Take that number and set up an automatic transfer for that exact dollar amount into a separate high-yield savings account. That savings account now receives the exact money your habit brain was spending invisibly. The only thing that changed is your conscious brain intercepts it first, before the tap can capture it silently. The phone did not make you bad with money. It made spending neurologically invisible.
And you cannot fix a problem your brain has been specifically trained not to perceive as a problem at all. Every financial system that has ever worked long-term works because it makes the right behavior the path of least resistance, not because it demands more willpower from an already depleted decision-making brain. Willpower is a finite daily resource, and yours is at its lowest point at exactly the same time your phone usage is statistically at its highest, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. every single evening. The friction steps Joseph gave you are not about discipline, they're about making the unconscious conscious again, which is the only intervention that has ever created a durable behavioral change in spending patterns. You are not trying to spend less, you are trying to remember that you spent it all, because a purchase you cannot remember is a purchase your financial future had no vote on whatsoever. When you begin logging taps manually, something unexpected happens around day 8. You start pre-deciding before you even reach for your phone, because your brain now anticipates the documentation step coming. That pre-decision moment, the brief thought before you even reach for your phone, is your prefrontal cortex returning to its original function as a financial gatekeeper instead of a passive bystander. The goal is not a perfect month with 0 phantom purchases. The goal is a month where you can look at every single line of your bank statement and attach a conscious memory to it. When every tap is a remembered decision, you have not just fixed a phantom leak, you have permanently restructured the relationship between your attention and your money at the neurological level. If you have been watching this video on your phone, you have already had at least one opportunity to tap and spend something in the last 11 minutes. That is how embedded the reflex already is inside you. Take 40 seconds right now before this video ends, disable the express payment toggle, create the Taps Today note, and write down the phantom spending number you found in your last 30 days of transactions. Those 3 actions take less time than the next YouTube ad playing before whatever you watch next, and they will recover more money than most budgeting apps you have ever downloaded and eventually deleted. If you want to take this further, Joseph has already built a complete friction audit for the 5 biggest spending leaks hiding inside a smartphone. The second leak will genuinely surprise you when you see it. Drop your phantom spending number in the comments right now, not a range, the exact dollar amount you found, because seeing other people's real numbers is the only thing that makes your own number feel real. If your phantom spending number shocked you, wait until you see what your streaming stack is actually costing you across every device in your home over a rolling 12-month period. That video is right there, and what it found in the average household's account will make this 10% feel like the small leak before you found the burst pipe.